he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
What? What? I'm not dead. Oh, do I have to walk through there to die? Oh, okay. No, I can't walk through there to die. What? No, I'm really confused. What the fuck is going on? Out here. No.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
There's a little museum about the game's development.
Huh. Obviously, filing cabinets.
Remember when Solitaire would take up the whole screen?
Oh, yeah, right?
Ooh, back up. There are 5 buttons, right?
Yeah.
But they didn't do anything. Was it because I pressed the 1 incorrect and then didn't go back to 1?
I don't know.
That's just you falling asleep on my shoulder.
No.
Blink. Comments, thoughts, something? That
I don't know. Like, is it over?
You're still moving around.
Yeah, so...
Is it ever over as long as you retain control?
No.
Questions such as these are addressed by the boss's office. A clock.
Very nice. Very nice museum. Very nice. Underground. An early... for sakes. Of the underground portion of the game.
Oh, I didn't see this when I came to the museum.
Kevin Brading, the voice in the recorded dialogue for the tank roughly 3 separate times over the easy.
When Stanley came to the lift, he traveled upward to the power source at the top of the facility to end this injustice forever.
Is there something to activate the clips?
Where were all of his co-workers? Oh, I don't know. How about they're throwing a surprise party for him for all his button pushing? Does that sound plausible to you? Then he pushed the number.
Then it just plays in the room. Oh, there's a freedom ending. Have you seen that one?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you saw it?
Mm-hmm.
You escaped to freedom? I mean, freedom. Oh, interesting. I chose death.
Although, technically you didn't die.
That's true. Oh, look. Oh.
To stop the jaws.
Oh, a door. Oh, a door.
There's a window.
So I can't look outside. Bloody hell.
Zending with too many iterations.
Okay. Oh, we didn't see that at all. Did you see it?
I don't remember which one is the Zending. Narration here.
Yeah. Apparently not. Because as soon as you set her down, she's just going to wake up. But if you wrap her, then we have a higher chance of actual slippage. Oh, here we go. The apartment timer. Did you see the apartment timer?
Perhaps. Apartment timer.
Here. So it gave you 15 seconds to push the timer. Or pick
in a
song.
previous version.
Oh, previous one.
I have seen the apartment.
Oh, there's an apartment?
Mm-hmm.
How'd you get to the apartment in your freedom?
No. I think it was the first, but I don't know what it's called, but... I died in that though.
Oh, you like legit died?
Mm-hmm.
So this is what your outside looked like in the alien version.
Maybe. Where's your words?
Sorry. Ooh. How do your wrists not get tired?
I don't know.
Why is there no chocolate?
The chocolate ending.
Yeah, pretty disappointed in the non-chocolate ending.
Oh, it was an exit.
Oh, there's an exit. Oh, been here, right?
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Huh.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let time...
Did I die?
He's most excited at the prospect of being crushed in the jaws of vicious death.
Did I die? Like,
Pretty sure.
really? That was fascinating.
That was not the death I died the first time I played.
Oh, really? What sort of death did you die?
The crazy and he went crazy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Stanley went crazy.
I don't feel like I was getting crazy. Do you feel like I was getting
That's
crazy?
not the same path I took.
Oh, interesting. I legit died. Wow.
I think you have to escape at this point.
Okay.
Could be wrong. So you've hit buttons and things. Maybe you've hit the wrong button.
Lost.
Maybe we should push 2, 8, 4, 5.
Oh, that's a good idea. 2, 8, 4, 5.
Oh, that's 2, 2, 8, 4, 5.
Enter. 2, 8, 4, 5. Enter. 2, 8, 4, 5. How about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Or just 3?
Why do you look at me like that?
Wait, like what?
All sassy like.
Isn't that what this game is about?
I don't know. You gonna try again?
Okay, see,
It doesn't let you resume, so.
Oh, one. Well,
I don't think so. No? Okay. No, I'm pretty sure you're dead. Kaput. Aha.
yeah, I'm dead. Yeah.
So what?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm asking
Restart and try different options. Or don't.
you. Oh,
Are you satisfied with all your explorations and
I
options?
feel satisfied with my
You can go to
exploration.
you can go shut off the mind control facility this time.
How do I get there?
I'll get you there. No, you gotta begin again.
Could he really be? Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. For he would...
Where's that thingy I gave you?
blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
I went from being bone-crushingly dead to happy.
Improvements.
I'd say so.
It's the freedom ending. You know, see my crazy ending before we call it quits on the game?
Okay.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Maybe I haven't.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He
No, I've seen
considered the
this car
possibility
before,
of
haven't I?
facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk?
Why am I
All because
very
he
much
believed
taller than this
everyone
car?
had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. "I'm dreaming!" he yelled. "This is all a dream." Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment and my wife and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay. Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Crazy ending.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy, this much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
There you go. Crazy ending. I don't remember how I got to the apartment now.
Huh.
The thoughts about the game and its weirdness and meta-ness?
I think it's really interesting. But it does have limited replayability.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Definitely.
So.
Well, I think my clock was at 46 minutes total. I was like, I'm done.
What's my clock? How do I know?
But whatever we are at now, minus the 46 minutes. Oh, it doesn't. It just once it gets its hours, it just counts hours. So I don't know. It's probably about the same.
Oh, okay.
Maybe a little longer.
So, but I found
control issues. You
Right.
found several endings. So.
Oh,
Including
interesting.
the technical. This is how you beat the game ending.
Oh, which one is
But
that?
The freedom ending. By doing everything the narrator says, you get through the story like he wants you to.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
So you find the freedom ending by only doing everything that somebody else tells you to do.
Right. Interesting. Oh,
That's supposed to be one of the. That's kind of an iconic game, or like a landmark game. I mean, it's not super great by itself. It's definitely a whole different approach to games than you usually see. So
right.
I thought it was worth the play. If you didn't like it, it was short, so we didn't have to get bogged down in a big series.
Right.
All right, well, it's goodbye from us, guys. Thanks for watching and all that jazz.
Board gamer mom
Next after
needs to move her meeples.
Next after hours, we'll do something else. Don't know what. I'll have to figure that out. Goodbye.
Coliseum.
Not the new one.
No, no, not the new one. Okay, bye.
This is Retro Gamer Dad saying farewell.